Hey there, everyone. Thank you for downloading and listening to MiniSode 104.5 of the Dependent Independent Podcast. I'm your host, Nick G, and if this is the first time you're watching or listening to the show, make sure you hit the subscribe button, whether it be on YouTube or your podcast player. That way, when each of these episodes, minisodes and full episodes, post each and every Thursday at 9 a.m., they hit your feed so you can listen to your heart's content. In this quick minisode, because I'm on the clock right now, I'm going to talk about appreciation. Recently, my daughter, unfortunately, has been out sick from school. And for the past 2 days, she's been binge watching Grey's Anatomy. I don't know if you know what Grey's Anatomy is. Grey's Anatomy is a show on Netflix, but it originally aired about 15 years ago. I think they celebrated their 15th anniversary on ABC, where it's a story or a series, kind of a docudrama in a hospital in Seattle, a fake hospital called Seattle Grace, right? I think it's, Seattle Grace, where this woman named Grey, suddenly her first name escapes me, Meredith Grey. She is the daughter of this amazing surgeon that built her career. Her mother built her career in this hospital, but unfortunately contracted Alzheimer's. Can you contract Alzheimer's? She got Alzheimer's, and suddenly forgetting that she was as amazing as she was. So it's this cool drama about this woman who now has to live up to the expectations of a woman that can't remember what she did yesterday. Cool show, great premise. I remember diving into it, I think, before Megan dove into it. My wife, she started watching it, and it was kind of a thing. This was 15 years ago, so this was before people had, like, Facebook and Instagram where people could spoil it and say what happened on last night's episode. So you had to watch it and then talk about it. So it was really cool water cooler talk, but it was a good show. Eventually, I think the show completely jumped the shark when they decided to have everyone sleep with everybody, and it became more of a sex drama than an actual... Well, it's funny, watching the episodes now in season 3 and 4, it's kind of going there. I think maybe... And I have a philosophy that I only like shows up through 2 seasons. But anyway, my daughter's been watching this show, and it's weird because I haven't seen it in a long time, so I'm kind of rediscovering it. But the one thing I'm noticing in this show is that it's impossible not to have conflict every day because of where they're at. They're constantly in a hospital. It's genius, actually. It's rated now one of the longest running hospital dramas on TV. And the fact that you're in a hospital creates an enormous amount of tension all the time and stress all the time. So every time you watch the show, because ironically, if you take the hospital out, these people are kind of boring. There's really nothing they do. But yet when you throw them in a hospital, they're all competing and positioning themselves because they want the next surgery or the next procedure they want to do in the ER, and there's drama and tension because they're right on top of each other all the time, literally and figuratively. The fact that it's a genius premise because of the fact that they put these people in a hospital. And it suddenly creates the mindset, which I've been thinking about, is that the only way to make something happen is to create stress. And I'm noticing since I've been home, technically I've been, I found out I was losing my former job on December 3rd, so that would mean that 3 months ago I was told that I didn't have a new job. And since then I'm making the decision to change careers. I've talked about that on Facebook. I don't know if I think I might have talked about it on the show. But it's this condition that we all have that in order to move forward, I have to be stressed. Now, for the past few weeks, a lot of things have been going on. I've talked about it on the show. I'm taking care of my dad. I actually have to go to the nursing home today, and I have to take Nate to school. That's why I'm under the time clock, and that's why this is a quick mini-sode. But my brain keeps trying to wrap itself around, and I'm fighting it, which is the weirdest thing. Because I'm fighting it, it wants me to stress about my situation. And I surprised myself because I've gone this far so many weeks without stressing. I'm not stressing, but I'm kind of getting a little tired. Like the muscles are getting a little weak here, and suddenly now stress is creeping up on me. And I'm not talking about like stress where things are completely out of my control. It's my brain is trying to tell me to worry about the things that should have happened and worry about the things that could happen, rather than completely being in the now. And the secret I learned is, well, there is no secret, actually. What am I talking about? It's an uphill battle, and I'm sure most of you watching it or listening understand that it's easy to lose yourself. Those saboteurs and tricksters in your brain try to tell you that, well, you should be here. Like I'm looking to change careers and looking to find a new position. So my brain's telling me, well, you should have gotten 6 calls today, and this should have happened, or this could have happened if you didn't make this decision. But what I'm forgetting is, as I'm home every day, is that when you do that, you take yourself completely out of the now. Completely out of the now. And to the point that I said before about appreciation is you start forgetting how to appreciate the things that are right in front of you. Like, for instance, yesterday when I started my day, I was concerned. Not too much, but if I had lost myself, I wouldn't have enjoyed anything that happened, even this week for that matter. Like yesterday, amazing day. Kelly Pickle, co-host of the show on episode 104. We recorded it from her country home. We published her first podcast. It's an amazing thing. And I didn't know that I was going to actually get that done that day, but it's an amazing thing that happened. And now she can now share her voice out to the world, and it's only going to get better. I think she's a natural. And Kelly, if you're listening, I hope every client I work with is just like you. Kelly and I had art class together back when we were in college. I'm very excited for her. I spent the day with my daughter watching a TV show. Again, even appreciating that. Back when I watched Grey's Anatomy back in 15 years ago, the first 2 seasons were great, but once it jumped the shark, I stopped appreciating it. But as an adult now, a grown adult, a little bit more mature, I'm suddenly appreciating it a little bit more in the now versus saying, oh, I wish the show was like this, or it was great when we watched it, but now it can't be good anymore. I was able to cook a roast chicken. I roasted a chicken yesterday. Megan said, I probably could have done better, but she kind of sent me the recipe of what was supposed to go in it, and I kind of improvised. But you can't really screw up a roasted chicken. But it was an awesome chicken, juicy chicken. But now I'm cooking. You know, I used to have to come home really late from work, and my wife would have to race to get the food on the table, or I was eating it secondhand because the kids had already eaten because they went to dance practice or soccer practice or basketball practice. So that's exciting too. I'm able to contribute now in the moment rather than worrying about what should have happened or what could happen. Guys, nothing's certain. Nothing's certain. And we kill ourselves trying to determine what could happen tomorrow or what may happen a year from now or what should have happened only if I did this. And I wanted to just take a quick opportunity in this minisode to tell you that stop. Figure out a way to be in the moment, because if you don't do that, you'll create an enormous amount of stress for yourself that is unnecessary and get you nowhere, because we've been conditioned, right? The only way things will change, if I put pressure on myself, things will happen. I don't have any control of the outside world, nothing. I only have control of how much salt I put on the roasted chicken or smoked paprika, what YouTube videos to watch with my daughter. The fact that my daughter's sick, we went to the doctor's office and got a couple YouTube videos, and that was fun, waiting for the doctor to come in. What happens in season 4 finale of Grey's Anatomy. You should check that out. And that's cool, rediscovering those things. I'm actually going to see my father today. I got a text message yesterday from my dad. I didn't expect that. That just happened. What a great gift. My father got a haircut. He hadn't had a haircut in forever. And they cut his hair at the nursing home, and he took a picture and sent it to the family, which was great. Guys, please do me a favor. Figure out how not to stress about the things that could have happened or should have happened. Because if you continue to do that like they do in Grey's Anatomy, they spin out of control. Either that, or we assume that that's the only way we get things done. Live in the now, enjoy the day, and try to appreciate the things that happen in the day. Because if you don't, and I definitely fell victim to this, and I'm guilty of this, that for a long time, a very, very long time, that's all I did was worry about what could happen. And I never appreciated the people around me, the things that happened with me and my kids, the time I spent with my wife, and life just passed me by. Now, there are no regrets. I can't go back and change anything, but man, it is fun. And for especially my situation right now, I should be stressed, but I can't be. I'm not. Not that I'm not, but I can't be. And amazing things do happen to those people that live in the now. And until you do that, you can't truly appreciate what happens to you. I'm Nick G. This is the Dependent Independent Podcast, MiniSode 104.5. You can find us on any podcast player on the interwebs. Make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel or the podcast on your podcast player. You can follow me on Instagram at dependent_Nick, or follow me all over the interwebs at the Dependent Independent Podcast. We have a YouTube channel. You can watch our past videos too, and I'm trying something new with the camera. I'm back in the studio, actually, which is kind of fun. And I will see you later, which isn't the closing of my show, but I'm Nick G. And I, can't forget, see, I got to stick to the plan, am out.